Hello friends, this is Umesh, and in this video I'm going to talk about a career path for embedded engineer, right? So it's just like a hidden territory. Many people confuses embedded engineering with an embedded software engineer or embedded hardware engineer. Some people really thinks like an embedded engineer means you must know the hardware, and if you don't know hardware you cannot able to build the product or you cannot have the career. So they just misunderstood embedded systems means the hardware, okay? And the other side of the game is there are embedded software people. Um, they just think like it's a software and you must know the C programming and C++ and Python. Yes, they are very important, but it just doesn't mean that embedded system is just related to that one or two things. Okay, so I just want to talk a little bit about these things, how I understand. I've been 10 years like embedded software consultant. I worked with a lot of companies. I worked for healthcare. I worked for a PCB manufacturing company, and I had my own startup, and right now I'm a founder of binaryupdates.com. So if you really want to make the career as an embedded system engineer, then you could either look out for embedded hardware development. The other path is embedded software development. If you want to prepare for embedded hardware engineer, then you might have to be look out for the electronic concept. You have to be very good at electronics. You should love about electronics. You should love about the circuit designing. Okay, it's more of a design job. And then you also have to have a curiosity how the electronic component works, how the electronic things works. If you don't know these things, if you really don't like it, then it will be very difficult to become a very good, I mean, I'm just talking about a top-notch hardware developer. Okay, there are a lot of people, they worked in the embedded hardware side, but they just design a circuit boards. They are not very good at simulating that circuit, understanding how much current is flowing through every resistor and what is the impact of the capacitors and how the transformer, optocoupler and relay and all other things works. But if you really don't like electronics by your heart, okay, just like a designing, like a fashion designing for designing clothing, if you don't like that way electronics components, then it's very difficult to achieve the highest results by becoming an embedded hardware engineer. So if you really wanted to go for it, if you love electronics, then you rather have to look for embedded hardware development. Yes, of course, there needs a little bit programming you must know in order to excel in that career, because if you just design the hardware, if you cannot able to test it, troubleshoot it, or write a software for making some small tests, then it would be very difficult to reach at the top to get the high paid job. Now the other side of the game is embedded software side. In embedded software developer, if you really wanted to prepare yourself for embedded software developer, because they're highly paid, at least in India I have seen, and even I studied in Europe, so I know they are much demanded profession, embedded software developer. Okay, so if you want to prepare for embedded software side, then you have to be very good at C programming. C programming is the basics. If you know the assembly programming, then it's the cherry on the cake. But C is the basics. You must know C. Apart from C, you should have to know the Python. Okay, it's good if you know Python, but it's not like you must know. It's not really like that. If you are very good at C programming, that's really great. If you know C++, then it's just great. It's another like a cherry on a cake, because you really excel very quickly. Anyway, someday you have to move from C to C++ and build a really complex application. But as a beginner, if you really wanted to start as a that like a graduate trainee engineer or junior engineer or the fresher in the embedded systems, then you must know C programming. Now when you become an embedded software developer, then only knowing C is not enough. You must have to have a love for hardware as well, especially the low level architecture. I can say, I would rather put it this way: you must have to be good at like an operating system concept, because all the programming that you do using C++ is basically accessing the registers. Okay, so you must know the architecture of the chip, like an ARM architecture, Intel architecture, AMD, Freescale. So there are a lot of architectures in embedded systems. I mean, you don't have to learn everything, by the way, in the beginning. You can make one or two chips. I would rather recommend to go for AVR. That's the best architecture, very easy to start off because it's just a 8-bit microcontroller. But you have to be very good at C. That's the center point. And going about that, you must know the operating system concept, because someday in the embedded software development, you will be getting a projects working where you must have to know embedded Linux, right? Because you might see a lot of products around you, maybe the touch screen in your car, and maybe in your washed machines, or maybe in a printer, or maybe some kind of healthcare devices. There are some touch screens, so you press the button and something happens, right? It's like a user interfaces that you make using a Linux GUI. And so you also have to know a Linux along with the C programming. So it could be like a kernel or device driver development and something like this. We're going to talk a little more detail about this, all things about embedded hardware landscape and embedded software landscape in the future lessons. If you really want to get started off as an embedded system engineer, then check out the link in the video descriptions. I do have provided some courses in the binaryupdates.com, and I would really be happy to help you to get started off your journey into embedded system. One thing you never have to forget is, if you really want to be an embedded engineer, get used to with the failure. A lot of projects you're gonna make it, a lot of circuit board you will design, a lot of software you're gonna write, they would never able to perform as per your expectations. But you take this project which doesn't perform to your expectations, and you just scale it to the point where you make the software to work with the hardware. So you don't have to scare to make a mistakes. This is a field where you make a mistakes, you learn, and then you move on. That's how the embedded system engineers are made. I in my life have made a lot of mistakes. I still remember when I was doing my bachelor studies, I was trying to make a radio receiver, and believe me, it took me a long time. I mean, almost like 1.5 years or something. It was like 2009 back in time when I was very young and I was new. There were not much of a help online. So really you just have to get used to with a failure. A lot of projects you're gonna build which doesn't work, but every project will teach you. So this is how it is. I mean, you can build the projects and you can excel. If you want to build the project with me, as I said, check out the link in the video description and get in touch with me, and we'll see how best I can help you. Thank you very much for video, and we'll see us into the next lesson. Bye bye.